week.
Now to the latest on a story we first brought you a couple weeks ago. Concerns about parvovirus diagnosed in dogs in the Springfield area.
Two animal centers are coming together to offer free parvovirus shots to unvaccinated dogs. Western Mass News reporter Maria Wilson has the latest.
The Dakin Humane Society is teaming up with the Thomas J. O'Connor Animal Control and Adoption Center and the American International College to host a free parvo vaccine clinic this Wednesday morning from 10 to 11:30 for Springfield residents. The pop-up clinic is for healthy dogs that are currently not fully vaccinated against parvovirus. Dr. Jeff Muth is a veterinarian at the Humane Society and tells Western Mass News, while the disease is deadly, it is preventable with the vaccine.
It is incredibly important to vaccinate parvovirus because even with appropriate treatment, the disease can be fatal. It is much better to vaccinate and prevent the disease.
Parvovirus is a highly contagious disease for dogs that is transmitted through other dogs. Western Mass News asked what could be causing the recent outbreak.
Unfortunately, it's been very difficult for people to get into the veterinarians because there is unfortunately a lot of demand and not enough veterinarians to meet the demand.
At Dakin, we've learned parvovirus has been detected in 10 dogs since early August in the Springfield area. But West Springfield resident Edward Vito says the outbreak isn't stopping him from coming to the park with the family dog.
Most of the dogs, if not all of the dogs here at the park anyway, we do know have been vaccinated. Most of the dog owners here, they're on top of their shots and so forth.
Dr. Muth says if your puppy is unvaccinated, they should stay inside until they get their parvo vaccine. Dakin and TJO will be holding clinics through the middle of October. Reporting from Springfield, I'm Maria Wilson, Western Mass News.